Okay, so I'm very excited for today. I'm actually going to be interviewing Jonathan Ioannou. Apologies, Jonathan, if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I'm very excited. I've been looking up to Jonathan for a long time. So, Jonathan, thank you for coming today.
Thanks for inviting me, mate.
That's all right. So, for those of you that don't know, Jonathan is one of the most successful developers in Nottingham. He's a young guy, you're only
29 now.
29. He's a developer from Nottingham. I know you've got a portfolio of lots of HMOs, and your main strategy has been HMOs.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And Jonathan was also one of the mastermind top performers as well, and he's been featured in several magazines, IPI magazine, HMO magazine, and YPN magazine. So he's definitely been getting some recognition for some of his work that he's been doing, which is great. I've personally been following you, Jonathan, on social media, checking out your work. I kind of love the high-level HMO finish that you go for, and I've definitely tried to implement that as well. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. So just to kind of get a bit of a background on yourself. So you said you're 29 years old. Was you born in Nottingham?
Yeah, Mapley. Yeah.
So you was born in Nottingham. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? So
Yeah, of course.
background.
Went to Trent, stayed in Nottingham just to cut costs and stuff. We're going to uni, so I went to Trent.
Yeah.
Did architecture at Trent, and that was a pretty good course. Always wanted to get into property, so that was like the way in for me to do architecture. When I left, I could not get a job. I sent so many CVs off, but I couldn't get anything. I actually was on like job seeker. People didn't even know what an architect was in there. They thought it was an archaeologist, someone that unearthed bones. I ended up kind of drawing that line in the sand and saying, look, how am I going to get into property from here if architecture is not going to be the way forward? Ended up being an estate agent for a small independent estate agent. That was the transition. Met some investors while I did the kind of opening doors, all the admin work, that kind of thing I did there. I didn't do anything hard. Met some investors there, and then I lasted about 3 months in that job. Couldn't hack it at all, hated every minute. Left as soon as I could. I got a job as a surveyor. So I did like junior surveying, costings, minor building works, all that kind of stuff. Nothing strenuous. I worked underneath someone, and then it wasn't headhunted, but then one of the investors that I worked with while I was at the estate agents, he like came back to me and was like, oh, what are you up to? And I proposed an idea to him about this website, this investment website, which was quite funny. So we got talking again, and that sparked the whole thing off. And then he offered me a job as a property sourcer for his growing portfolio building company. So I did that from 2012 or 2014. It might have been 2014, actually. It was 2014. I think I did that. So I did that from then for about 4 years. Yeah.
So from university.
Yeah.
So university, estate agent.
Yeah.
Then surveyor.
Yeah.
Then you was recruiting.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the path. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you accept the job with the guy?
Yeah. It was literally all I ever wanted to do. Like I was like straight away, I'm all over that. That's mad that's come to me, because that's exactly what I was after. And all the stuff that I'd done before had like led up to, like, had developed me into a person which he was interested in. So like the architecture, the estate agency, like the surveying, like I'd done a bit of most of it, you know. So yeah, I took that job, and it was a massive pay cut as well, but I just bit his arm off.
So did you have any properties at this point?
No, none.
So you was literally just renting?
Live with my mum.
Live with your mum?
Yeah.
You know,
after uni, back in with the parents. The dream.
So did you always kind of have in the back of your mind you want to be an investor yourself?
Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah, like the end goal. So being at uni, seeing how much people made from students, that kind of thing, that pushed me. But then even before that, I always wanted to get into property development. It just really interested me, and that's why I chose to go down the architecture route. And then, yeah, it kind of progressed from there, but always wanted to get involved.
So do you think the university degree helped you in terms of now?
No,
not at all.
I mean, it did, but so architecture as a degree, everyone thinks it's made. So first of all, it's like a 7 year total span, but it's not. It's broken into 3 separate degrees. So you do like 3 years part 1, then you do part 2, which is another 3 years, I think, or 2 years in practice. Like part 1 was all conceptual, all design concepts and stuff. There wasn't really much in there that you learnt from. I learned more being a surveyor for like a year than I ever did at uni for 3 years on how buildings were made. Like I remember going to this surveyor's company, and I had no idea how like things were made. I thought it was so difficult. I thought everything was just so complex. It's the easiest thing in the world. Like, you know, like as a footing, I was like, how does a footing work? This is someone that's done part 1 degrees in architecture. They just don't teach you that kind of thing. So I wish it did, but it didn't.
So you didn't really feel like it was that useful
No, not really. No, it was a great experience, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But in hindsight, I could be where I am today, even if I hadn't gone to university. I believe so. Yeah, yeah. But I'm the sum of all of everything that's been going on behind, so I can't properly say that. I'd like to think that I would be in the same position.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your honesty for that. Lots of people, I don't know. It's just a bit of a weird one because people say uni got me to where I am.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, it didn't help me at all.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, everything's kind of like everything that you've done in the past has got you to where you are today, right? Yeah. So there's always that. But like, in terms of if I was to just go on start the ball running and want to be an investor, and I didn't do architecture, I could still be an investor now without that degree. It may have helped me a little bit down the line, but I could still be where I am. So that's what I'd like to think. Yeah.
So right, you're working for this property investor. You've got a great relationship with him.
Yeah.
So what's the next step? What happened next?
So I scraped as much money together as I possibly could. Like, mum gave me some money, just scraped everything, stopped like doing stuff so I could just get a little bit of a pot together. I had virtually nothing. And then part of my deal within that company was that I could buy from the stock. I was promised from every quarter I could buy one house if I had the means to do so. So that didn't pan out like that, but I got one, and I underestimated how good it was. I kind of just took it because it was what I wanted, because of what I've seen. And it was a ex-council house in Beeston. It's not classed as Beeston, it's classed as city, but it's in Lenton Abbey, which is like it's bloody Beeston. Bought it there, and it was probably one of the best deals I've ever done.
So right, let me just get this right. So essentially, you're working with this investor.
Yes.
You're looking at deals on a daily basis.
Yeah, probably 10 viewings a day.
10 viewings a day?
Yeah, well, that's what I'd aim for.
You personally doing these viewings?
At that point, yes.
Okay, so you was literally viewing 10 properties.
Hammering these viewings out, yeah.
Hammering them. I'm guessing you're making lowball offers.
We'd offer on every single one, no matter what it was.
Wow.
Every single one. And some of them would be horrific, but we'd always offer. And, maybe 1 in 3 that got really boiled down to the bottom that looked like they were near. Maybe 1 in 3 would come back, in a couple of months' time, and we'd get them. But that's how it worked, yeah.
Who would find the deals? Who would actually find the property viewings?
Me.
So you'd literally... Would you be looking on Rightmove?
I would hammer Rightmove.
Direct to vendor?
No, not really much direct to vendor. There was the odd 1 or 2 that was from word of mouth, but not a lot. Most stock was from Rightmove, yeah.
So he was literally on the internet looking at...
Yeah, but when I walked into that, he'd already been investing within Nottingham for years. So we had a really good relationship with most of the estate agents. So I kind of did the tours, got introduced, and then took over that relationship. And then carried on with that. So I'd then do viewings and everything. I'd book it all through, yeah. So I'd manage everything myself.
So you was viewing a lot of properties?
Loads.
Do you think that helped you?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So you kind of know what to look for, what not to look for. Because I'm always saying to people, go and do 30 viewings before you buy one house. So go and look at, 30, 40 different properties.
Yeah, yeah.
Make low ball offers. Try and get, discounted properties. And also, the experience of going through those different viewings will help you know what's good and what's not good, and how to find better deals. That's how I did it as well. Looked at like 30 houses before I got my first deal. So yeah,
that's good. They're good numbers, to be fair. I think we used to look at probably 100, get 10 that would be interested, and then maybe get 2 that would kind of come to a point where we could could get a deal.
So guys, that's a key tip. So it's literally gone from viewing 100 houses down to buying just one of those. So that's kind of puts it into
that. Yeah, our criteria was really strict. We had to have a 20% margin, and then we had to have the renovation costs and all the other embodied costs taken off that as well. So a 100 grand house with like 10 grand's renovation, we're offering 80. We're offering like 60, something just over 60 grand, 70 grand in the end. Something silly like that. I mean, that's crazy, right? Yeah, we're offering 70k on 100 grand's worth of house. So yeah, I'm often told just go away, but then some did get through.
So you're viewing all of these properties on behalf of the investor, and you was told by the company, by this man's company. Was he like the owner of the company?
Yeah. So part of like the salary, part of the deal was that I could buy one every quarter. That was the way it worked.
He said to you, every three months you can literally buy a property.
Bear in mind, I've been working for him for like 2 years before I even got the means to be able to buy one. Before I could even afford to get one. So yeah, that.
So you put in 2 years of graft. You didn't have any properties yourself, but this was just all experience building for yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. Making other people a lot of money. Yeah.
So, right, 2 years in, you've been working for this guy for 2 years, you buy your first one. Can you just recap what that property was?
Yeah, it was a I'm sure it was an end terrace. It was an end terrace, ex-local authority one. Brick built, normal tile roof, 3-bed. Absolutely sick deal. Like, I still to this day I can't believe I got it for this, but I got it for.
Is it your best deal yet?
No, it's not the best one.
The best
But
one,
it's a good one. It's a really good one. So I bought it for 55.
Yeah.
It was on the market for 70, and I managed to buy it pretty much the day it hit the market. We had a really good relation with one of the estate agents. She rang me and said, these just want to get rid of it. They're travelling up from somewhere like Devon to do the viewings. They don't want us to do the viewings. It's their mum's old house. Come and look at it, makes an offer, they'll go with it. I end up sale agreeing it at something like 57. I don't know why they took that. I put a low ball in and they just said, yeah. And then we ended up pulling it down after survey because it turns out that there was a little bit of subsidence there, a drains related one, dead easy to fix, not a massive issue. But that got refinanced the same year for 95.
Okay, so you purchased it for
55, yeah. I reckon, now it's such a long time ago, we're talking over 5 years ago now. I think I spent between sort of 8 and 12k on it. Like, it was all, I pretty much did it all myself. Yeah. It wasn't the best renovation. It's nothing like what my stuff looked like now. Yeah. But I spent about that much money on it. So then after that, I got it refinanced at 95. Yeah. Even though there was comps much higher than that, they wouldn't take anything because they said I only held it for 6 months before I refinanced it. So I slammed it in as soon as I could, refinanced it. I think I pulled out like 18 grand. So I kept this house and I pulled out 18, which was mad.
Which was covered your deposit.
That covered my next one. Yeah, that paid for the next one.
Yeah. So you bought it for 55. Did you buy it? This is the question. What I think people will be interested in.
Okay.
Did you buy it on a residential mortgage or a buy-to-let mortgage?
That might stitch me up though.
Yeah, don't worry. It's cool. It's done now. It's finished.
I bought that a long time ago on a resi, yeah.
Yeah. You see, that's exactly how I started as well.
Yeah, and then I refinanced it on a buy-to-let and let it out.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and the same thing for myself as well.
Because I grafted and did it all myself, it did take like 5 and a bit months to get it fixed up. So by the end of it, that's the position I was in. Yeah. But it was worth more than that. Yeah. And I was livid because they wouldn't lend more than that because I'd only held it for 6 months. I think I did it with Virgin or NatWest. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, we're not lending any more than that. And because it's a council estate, everything's the same. I literally had a length of comps, like as long as my arm, of comps well over the 100 grand mark, 120 some of these. So, it got refinanced the next time once that term ran out. I think it was a 2-year fix or something. When that ran out, it got refinanced for 120. And then the following time, it got 135.
Wow, so you've only held the property for like...
I think 4 or 5 years
4 or 5 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And it had gone from 55?
Yeah, 2014 I bought that. So 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's gone from 55 to 135 in 5 years' time.
With only a small refurb?
With a minute refurb. And do you know what? I've not spent a penny on that house. Wow. The only thing I've replaced, the only thing I've done is the gas annually. That's pretty much it, apart from a shed. I had to pay for a shed last week.
So was that just a normal single let?
Yeah.
And you was able to pull out 18,000 from it?
I think it was just over 18k I got back in my pocket, and I kept, after refinanced it.
So you remortgaged it, you refinanced it.
Yeah.
Refinance, another way to say it, remortgage, for those of you that don't know. So essentially you pulled out 18,000 from it. You could have pulled a lot more, but because you've only had it for 6 months.
They wouldn't lend anymore.
And you was quite new to the game,
that was my first one,
It was your first one. So, but they did let you release.
They were weird about me not having a residential address, like not owning my own home as well. They were weird about that. So that was one of there was something weird going on where they wouldn't lend more because I'd only owned it for 6 months and because I didn't have a resi, something like that. I remember it being a bit of a...
But you was able to find a buy-to-let lender.
Yeah, I had 2 options, and so I couldn't go anywhere else. So I got down and I was like, I can't. I'm just gonna have to take it.
Yeah, cool. All right, perfect. So from there, what was the next step? Wow.
So I bought a house in Stapleford. Yeah, bought a house in Stapleford, mid-terrace, and I flipped that. That was pretty cool. I remember being skiing and when it completed.
Oh, okay.
And just seeing like that amount of money in my bank, I was like, oh my god, I've never seen that kind of money in the bank. So flipped just a normal Victorian terrace house. Again, did the renovation dirt cheap. Working every like Saturday, Sunday, and going after work every night, getting it done myself. I think by that I had just under 40 grand in my account, so I'd like doubled up pretty much from what I had left. I had a nice pot then, and then the next one was my first HMO.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish it didn't. I wish I kept that. Yeah.
So nearly. So just to recap, you did the first property, refurbed it, you bought it, was a single let, refurbished it yourself.
Yeah.
You refinanced it, pulled out 18,000.
Yeah.
Then you purchased the second property, which was a flip.
Yeah.
And essentially you bought a property. How much did you buy that for?
I bought that. Oh, you're putting me on the spot now.
Yeah.
I reckon it was 70 grand dead on.
Where was that?
Stapleford. I sold it for 115.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some healthy.
And I spent like peanuts on it. We're talking like another like 8 grand or something I spent on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did well out of that in the end.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
Obviously I got my sellers costs and all that kind of stuff, and the solicitors and the estate agents. But yeah, I did really well out of it, and it completed while we were on holiday. And then so an old friend of mine was a letting agent.
Yeah.
I got talking to him about what I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, I've got these houses in the Meadows."
Yeah.
Like in the Meadows, there's a guy. He had to shut the doors. His daughter started up a women's sanctuary or something like that, housing these people, and she couldn't look after it, so they boarded it up, shut it down, and there was 2 of them. He was like, he just wants rid, but he's 70 odd. His mortgage runs out in a couple of years. It's on interest only. He has to have like this amount of money for it. Yeah. And this was before. I knew about HMOs, but I was never like interested in them at this point. And I had a look around them, and I was like, one of them was immaculate. Like they just ripped the carpets up, just needed painting. So I ended up buying that one.
So the first 2 deals. First one, single let, which you kept.
Yeah.
Second one was a flip, which you sold.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a pot of money, had around 40,000.
Yeah, chunk of money.
So you went into the third deal.
Yeah.
Did you use any investors' money on?
Yeah, so I borrowed some money from my partner's granddad.
Perfect.
On a fixed rate there.
Okay.
It's all right. It's bloody wedding in it. No one can probably see it.
So you borrowed. So you borrowed some money off.
I borrowed some money off them. Yeah.
On a fixed rate.
Yep.
Do you remember the percentage?
I think I paid 8%.
8%.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was a decent amount of money. Yeah. I mean, they get like 1% of their bank, so it's pretty sick.
Sure. So you're obviously a good negotiator.
Try my hardest.
So yeah, I mean, all right. So you've done that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the third deal now.
Third one for me. Yeah.
Right. This is a HMO.
Yeah.
Was it an existing HMO?
Yes. Yeah.
It was an existing HMO?
All existing, yeah.
Okay. But this was direct to the seller?
This was direct to vendor. Yeah, so I knew about HMOs. I'd done a lot of projects for that at work.
Yeah.
I'd done some side projects with some other people where I'd looked after their, managed the stuff. And this was the first one that I saw, and I thought, you know what, this one's for me.
Yeah.
I paid 116 for it. 6-bed, like a big 6-bed as well. Like a Victorian one with a bay, and then the bit over the whole passageway. So it was a big building. And like I said, it needed very little doing to it. Like I did put new kitchens in, new bathrooms and everything, but the actual like infrastructure, all of the buildings, it was already HMO, already had all the fire system in, already had emergency lighting in. Everything was there. It just needed redecorating, reflooring, that kind of thing.
So you paid 116,000.
I got one cheaper than that in 2018 in the Meadows.
Wow.
6-bed. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was decent at the time. I was like, I remember sitting there going, I'm never getting a deal like this again.
Wow. So 116,000.
Yeah.
6-bed.
Yeah.
Existing HMO.
Yeah, in Notts. Yeah.
In Notts, not the best area.
No, but it's got a lot of positives there. 100%.
What do you think about that?
I don't want to say too much about it.
Edit this bit out. Okay, so you bought this 116,000.
Yeah.
How much did you spend on it?
Probably 15k, something like that. Yeah.
So let's say that brings it to 130.
Something like that. Yeah.
What did it get valued?
But 160 first valuation.
Yeah.
I put it on a 5-year fix second time round for 180, which I think is quite low. Yeah. Personally, I think that's like a low valuation there because people are selling stuff like that in Notts for well over 200 grand.
Yeah.
So I think I got shafted a little bit, but I'm fine with it. It is what it is. And
if it was on a 10% yield, what would you think it would be valued at?
It turns over 24 something grand.
So maybe like 230 or something.
So yeah, I think comfortably like that. But all of mine at that level are all on bricks and mortar. So I don't want to overgear. So I put them all on that for that purpose. So I expected it to be less than 200.
Cool.
I can't remember what I put in for. I don't think it was too far off what I put in for, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like I was happy with it.
Yeah.
But
if you wanted to, I'm sure you could release more money from that.
If I sold that now, I could probably get something stupid for it. Like, probably something silly like that, yeah. And I reckon it'd go like in a couple of days. But yeah.
Okay, so cool. So that's the third property. So that was a HMO.
Yeah.
What about number 4?
Well, alongside all these, I was doing other projects for other people as well. So that deal there, that came as a 2. and I bought another one off him, a 5-bed for 110. That was in there as well, in the same place. And then I did some other ones. But the other one, the next one for me after that, I went to like a 3-day event, and I met my first JV partner there. And the first house we bought together was a 10-bed in Derby, which is a beast. Bought that. That was a bargain. That was. We got that, and we turned it into a 10-bed, 10-bath one in Derby. We got that. The numbers on this one are wild. We got that for 205. I'm pretty sure we spent 100 on the renovation, or there or thereabouts, and all the other embodied costs within it. But we refinanced it for 435. Yeah, insane. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 435 we got for that at the back end. And he ended up leaving in like 15 grand or something when it was all done and dusted. And that turns well over 50 grand now, turned like gross. It does really well, that one does.
So I'm very interested in this one.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at Derby myself. So I'm looking to potentially get HMO in Derby.
Okay.
So I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I'm about to make you laugh then.
Yeah.
'Cause,
so it was 10 bedrooms. What are you achieving per room for it?
So at the time when we listed that in Derby, we were getting on average probably between 450 and 495.
Okay.
We had one big room go for 550. But there's a little bit extra on that deal. We actually got a loan from the seller to do the renovation. So I got an 80 grand loan from the seller at 6% to buy it. Yeah, because like this guy was absolutely sound. He was a really nice guy, and I was trying to stretch myself to do it myself. And I'd been introduced to this deal because it was too big for my friend, and he was like, "I'll let you have this." I'd sorted him out of rent to rent ages ago. It was like, "You take this one on, just do the guy right because he's a really nice guy and he's tried to help me out." So I was talking to him, and it got to the point where I realised I couldn't buy it. Because no one will finance 10-bed. There's only like one product on the market that will finance 10-bed, other than like the Shawbrook commercially stuff. And I'd only got like one HMO and one single at this point, so I couldn't leverage that, and they wouldn't lend on it. And I didn't have any money left at the time from all the other stuff I'd done. So I was in this position. So I was trying to get a PLO on it. Like I remember purchase lease option. He like came back to it and he just said, "Jonathan, I'm gonna stop you, mate. I don't want to do what you're saying." I don't know what it is. It sounds weird. This is what it said. It was like, what's the issue? And I was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't get the finance on it because it's 10-bed. Surely you're having this issue. And he was like, well, no, it's got no mortgage on it. I was like, right, okay. And he was like, look, is it cash? Do you need the money for the deposit? And I was like, well, maybe. I was like, at this point, I was like, well, yeah, explore that. He was like, look, I'll give you a loan. If you let me take a charge or something, I'll happily give you a loan to buy it. So we ended up negotiating it. I bought in a JV partner just because it made my life so much easier. And we got like an 80 grand or 85 grand, I can't remember what it was, for 6% for 12 months. So that funded most of the reno. So the JV partner didn't have to put much in, but he did buy it in cash so that we didn't have that issue with the whole lending thing at the start. So we bought it in cash, used that money then for the renovation, and refinanced it with Shawbrook at the end.
So we talk about creative deals.
Yeah.
This is...
Yeah, that was super creative. Yeah. But that all came from him just being like, he just wanted to help us. Like, we developed such a good rapport with him.
So what was his reason for selling? Like, why did
he was like 70 odd. He'd still go around, do the gardening, that kind of thing. So he just wanted out. I remember at the end, he told me he'd got like over $500,000 in just in cash, like in his bank accounts. So it's like,
I'm presuming you've still got that relationship with him.
So I still talk to him every now and then, but he sunk all that money. I tried to get another loan off him. He sunk all that money into like a ETF or something, and he gets really good money on that with very little risk, and he's been getting compounded money on that, and he's done really well for himself.
Sounds like a great guy.
He's a really nice guy. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, I'm the type of guy. I only will talk about a deal if it's done.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, tell me about it.
Because the amount of times I've got excited about a deal,
every single one,
and it's not happened.
Yeah. Something happens.
Lease options.
Yeah.
The guy's like, but last minute falls through for whatever reason.
Other side's list of shafts here.
Yeah.
I've got two. It's funny you said it. I've got, no, not two, 3 deals.
Yeah.
And 5 grand off. Right. 5 grand off, which is, one of them's, I'm at 180. It's on at 190. Estate agent rings me and says, you go to 185, I've got this in the bag. All right, 185. Don't hear from him for a week. Call him. What's going on? Oh, yeah, they didn't accept it. Cheers, that's one. Other 2, I am on the money, just can't get hold of the bloody vendors. They've said this is what you need to get it, offered it, and then they just vanished, just completely ghosted me. So honestly, and what I'd done as well, I was sourcing these. So I'd like spoke to the investors first, said, look, this is what I'm working on. This, they've just come back to me and said, if I offer this, we can have it.
Yeah.
So they've all agreed. So now I've got like the guys. They're like, oh, what's going on with these deals? And I'm like, I've not heard anything from them. I don't know what's going on, and I can't chase much more than I have. Cause then you just look bloody desperate, and they'll start pumping it. And
It's a fine line. Isn't it?
exactly, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
Well, best of luck. I hope.
For me too.
Just so we're super clear on your story.
Yeah.
So, the third deal was the first HMO that you ever bought.
Yes.
Did you ever have any problems renting the HMO?
No, it went absolutely rapid.
Yeah. You've got your specific areas.
Yeah.
In certain cities, like you will buy, you won't buy.
Yeah, like Nottingham's all good.
Yeah.
All good. Anywhere in Nottingham, especially with Arc 4 things.
So I'm presuming you won't be going Derby.
I'm not touching any more in Derby, no.
Okay.
Sorry about that, mate.
Something to think about.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You know what? I kind of had a feeling I was going to say it's kind of that. But
I mean, I've told people, right, so I'll have some people message me.
Yeah.
And I'll say it, and they'll think that I'm just trying to like push them off my turf. Yeah, and I get that, and I fully get that. I appreciate where they're coming from there, but I'm not trying to do that. So what I said to one is, look, how about you use my pictures, do an advert, tell me what you get. Yeah, tell me what you get in 2 weeks. Got nothing, not one call in 2 weeks.
So let's go back. So you're doing your third project done.
Yeah.
HMO up and running.
Yeah.
6-bed HMO in the Meadows up and running. You had no problems renting the rooms out.
Yeah.
And you're also doing some other projects on the side.
Yeah.
Like sourcing some deals.
Not really. People were bringing stuff to me and asking me to project manage it because they'd seen what I've been up to. So I was doing a couple of project management jobs. Yeah. A little bit, not really that much sourcing. It was difficult because obviously I worked as a sourcer. So like there's a line, there was a bit of a weird thing going on there.
So at that point, you joined the PIN Mastermind.
Yeah, so I'd just done the accelerator, which is where I met my JV partner.
Which is a 3-day course.
3-day weekend one, which is really good.
Fully recommend that?
I thought that was a really good experience, to be honest, yeah. And then, because you're like within a community for three days, everyone just wants to do the same stuff. Yeah. You literally, I didn't even think I got out of the hotel. 3 days, like, stayed in this room. So that's pretty weird.
Did they still do the accelerator course?
I think so.
Okay, so guys, what I'll do, I'll put some information in the description to check out the PIN network. They're really good. They do some networking events in Nottingham as well on the second Tuesday of every month. I've personally been, so a big shout out to the PIN guys. Keep it going because you're doing a great job. You ended up becoming one of the top 5.
Yeah.
On the Mastermind.
2018, yeah. You can see that on YouTube. Check that out on YouTube,
Yeah, so I've watched all your interviews and everything like that. Very interesting stuff. So you're on the Mastermind. You met lots of JV partners, joint venture partners.
Yeah, a couple of that. Yeah.
Your journey. You've got these 3 properties. What happened next? What was the next step?
So the next step was Mastermind. So I just went wild. Like literally, I was just being as greedy as I could. Most of the stuff went out the window. I was just trying to get hold of many HMOs as I possibly could. So I went on like a year-long binge where I was just buying, just growing, making a mess, pretty much. Making a mess that I was cleaning up 12 months after. But just buying, going wild.
Was you working at this time? Were you still working?
I was still working, but I'd dropped all my hours down to, I think I was doing 3 days a week.
Yeah.
At that point, at the start of Mastermind, I was doing 3 days a week, and by the end, I was out pretty much. Yeah.
So similar thing to myself, only my job wasn't as cool.
Okay.
It was domestic in general.
Yeah.
The call centre.
Oh no way! Is it really?
Selling insurance.
My sister worked there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's worked there.
Yeah.
But I dropped my hours down as well.
Okay.
And then when things picked up enough, where I had enough cash flow coming in, I was like,
see ya. Yeah. So like, get your cash flow first.
Get the cash
then when you're comfortable and it's coming in regularly, although you always think it's never going to come in, don't you? You're like every month you're like, oh crap. Even now I like cash flow still going to come in. But did that. I think the next couple of deals I did 2 rent to rents. I did a purchase lease option alongside buying some much bigger projects. So like it kind of went there. Yeah.
So from there it was literally a catapult to deal after deal.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I had a pipeline while I was on Mastermind of pretty much 3 in conveyancing or 3 going through and 3 to 4 being renovated at the same time the whole way through, and that lasted until I went away. Like I had 4 on the go until I went away. That killed me. Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Jonathan, I know you've been travelling.
I did.
I'm guessing that's a bit of a passion for yourself.
Do you know what? Weirdly enough, I'd never wanted to go. Like it wasn't on my radar of things to do, and I was in my prime. I was knocking these projects out, and I'd got such a good pipe going. It was just I was just in it. I was just good. And then one of my friends had some bad news, and he was on about going, and we'd always been on holiday with them, and they was like, look, why don't you just come with us? Like, you can come with us. Why would you not? And then then we had a chat, me and the missus, and just decided to go. Yeah, so 6 months. Yeah.
Wow. So you and your girlfriend,
yeah,
you literally just left 6 months.
Pretty much. We just bought a bloody house as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You bought a house.
Yeah. Renovated it all. Like, got it done up to the nines. Yeah, I know. It's still in there.
So right, in terms of your travels, where was the top places you went to?
Probably Japan was the best.
Japan.
Yeah. We spent 3 and a bit weeks in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, so really good. I had to remortgage a house to get out of it, but but it was decent. It was really, really good. I'd go back there, 100%. It's completely different.
So the top countries you went to: Japan.
I went to like 7 or 8 countries, all of like in Asia. So we like travelled through. So like I think we started in Bali, then Singapore, then Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam. Philippines, met my VA in the Philippines, and then Japan. Yeah.
Did you actually physically meet
VA? Yeah.
Wow.
Not many people do that.
Yeah.
I took her out for the day. Went to this weird bar where she had this horrible egg, half cooked fetal egg thing. It was horrible.
Yeah.
That was
crazy.
good. Yeah,
you don't usually get to meet a VA, so
no, you don't.
That's something.
You don't.
So for you guys, if you guys want to check out Jonathan on Instagram, I'll put his Instagram in the description. So you can check out some of his travel pictures and videos. And keep up to date with his latest projects as well. Right, so Jonathan, what are the biggest challenges that you've faced so far in your career?
Finance always a challenge. Always a challenge. It's the same. You always run out of your cash. That's one thing, but that's like a minor challenge that you get over. The more you do, the easier it gets. I've had a few things where I've in fact, the biggest challenge for me was taking on too much, not like leveraging my time properly, like not having a project manager, that kind of thing, doing too much or promising too much myself and stretching myself too thin, and then promising the world and almost failing to give that because I'm just stretching myself too much. Like the first JV I did, I said I'd do the management, I said I said I'd do everything, and I'm not a good manager, like not a lettings manager anyway. So that was something that I've learned from.
Okay, this is a bit of a controversial one. Well, not controversial, but it's as we said, it's the hot topic of right now, service accommodation.
Yeah.
What's your initial thoughts? What do you think about it?
I think there's always that buzz thing going on. Used to be single lets, went to HMOs. Service accommodation seems to be the next one. A lot of people converting their HMOs to those now because of the way that it's going. There's a lot of stuff happening with that. I don't really know much about that. I can see like regulations coming in because there's virtually none of that at the moment. That's all I can see that's happening. There's a lot of people that have got those weird rent-to-rents that are doing SA and they don't have all these things.
Like myself.
Okay.
Well, hopefully I've got all the things in place.
I don't know too much about it to kind of pass judgment on it. It's just, I imagine that space to change in the next couple of years because of all the regulatory issues that are going to come up. Airbnb, that kind of stuff, yeah.
A lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people, they just kind of love the whole idea of serviced accommodation. They think it's easy. They think, listen, let's secure any apartment that I can do it on.
Loads of people do that.
And let's just go for it.
Yeah.
I just want to advise people, do not do that. Really take your time and be super picky with your rent to SA deals, or even if you're buying a place to do SA, just be picky. And you're going to make way more money if you buy a place and run it as SA than if you do rent to rent.
100%.
And especially if the rent is high.
Yeah, you've got to make sure all those permissions are in place. People, you need to be so upfront with that. If you're working with rent to rent, make sure the landlord knows, make sure they know, like they're aware of their block policies and all that kind of stuff and the way that the flats are run. Can you imagine, like, if you lived in a flat next door to someone using it as an SA, like people coming up and down the stairs slamming like suitcases and all that kind of crap? You'd be livid, wouldn't you? So it's a space that's going to change, I imagine.
So what's next?
So I'm heavily weighted on the HMO front, dangerously weighted on the HMO front. Like my portfolio is probably 95% HMOs. That's not a good place to be, right? With all the changes coming, with all the issues, I don't want to be there. So I'm working on diversifying the portfolio with single lets this year. Probably for a year, maybe 18 months. I'm going to be doing sourcing because that's all I know how to do. I've got nothing else that I can do, other than working in property. So I'll be sourcing more and I'll be doing single lets to build my own portfolio up. That's pretty much me. I'm trying to make like you, I'm going to do a YouTube channel about new people starting out in property as well. I will try and do that when I get around to it. That's one thing. That's pretty much it. I've figured out when I was on holiday that haven't got to be going at 100 miles an hour full time anymore. You know, the 4 projects before I left, like that took its toll after a bit. I mean, it went up to 7. I was running 7 jobs at one point by myself. I had 7 on the go. Yeah, like one's finishing, one's at snagging, and you know, but then new one's starting. It was hell, man. And I don't need to do. Like, there's no reason for me to do that anymore. So we always get sucked up into trying to do as much as possible and go in so quick. But yeah, when you really think about it, like you as well, you know, you left your job now. I know we're too young to chill, and we find ourselves like rattling around the house if we do chill. But you've afforded yourself the time to actually reflect on that, and you should take a little break and just, you know, pat yourself on the back, think about how well you've done, and then kind of move forward with it. It's all networking, mate, though, isn't it? When you really think about it, what does it boil down to? It boils down to networking. So like, it's so important to get educated. Then once you know some stuff, start building up that like black book, if you like, of people you can talk to, people you can call if you're in trouble, or you know, or you just need another opinion. That's what it's all about. But I always do a 3-year plan. So start and the end, reverse engineer it. So for example, if I was to turn around and go, I want 20 singlets in 3 years. Well, I go, well, how am I going to get 20 singlets in 3 years? And then I break that down into yearly goals. So then I'd go, well, then, you know, I need like, what is that? 20 divided by 3, that's hard. Let's use 30 because it's easy, right? So 30 singlets, so 10 a year. So then I go, okay, well, I need to get 10 singlets a year. How am I going to break that down into a yearly target? So I'd break that down into quarters, and I'd say, well, I need to get, you know, 2.5 a quarter to be on target to hitting it. So then I'd say, well, how am I going to fund that? And then if I need, let's say for an example, I need 30 grand per singlet, well, then I need 60,000 per quarter borrowing. You see what I mean? So then I break that down into manageable chunks and then figure it out that way. So start with the end and then reverse engineer it. Anything to get me on Instagram.
Okay, so literally Instagram's the place. If you want to contact Jonathan, Instagram, DM, slide in his DM, and get the conversation going.
Give a shout.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for having me.